I'm Graham Colton. The mid-90s. I guess just because that's kind of the music that I sort of grew up on. I mean, you know, I always loved like music from the 60s and 70s because my dad played in a cover band when I was in grade school and high school. But music from the early to mid-90s was kind of like when I was like, oh, this is like my music. I can do this. And that's, I feel like it sort of, you know, will be like the golden era for me. My guilty pleasure is absolutely 100% new country music. I mean, I hated it 4 or 5 years ago because I don't know, maybe because I've gotten older, maybe it's because it's changed, but as much as I want to hate some of the stuff that comes on like CMT or pop, you know, pop country radio, because I'm from Oklahoma, so it's almost every station is playing pop country. But it's like I find myself in the middle of the song, loving the song, and completely being able to put myself within the song, and it's like a life story in 3.5 minutes. And yeah, total guilty pleasure, love it. Which sound, I thought you said which sound or noise do I hate, and I was going to say my voice. Because I don't like my voice. I can't listen to it, I can't hear it. I don't even want to watch this interview because I will think I sound horrible. Which sound do I love? I love so many other people's voices, which probably make me hate mine even more. You know, I like really unique voices. I typically don't love, I mean, not including someone like Adele, who's just got the coolest voice on one hand and the best voice on the other. I typically don't like the sounds of singers that are overly, like, fantastic, gifted singers. I usually am more drawn to the more unique sounding singers. And I don't know if I'm either one of those kind of singers. So those are the sounds that I like. Who inspires me? I mean, it's a totally ever-changing thing. I mean, like when I was in high school, it was girls inspiring me, you know, to write songs about why I wanted to date them and why they didn't want to date me, or why maybe one girl wanted to date me, and then, you know, when I got into my early mid-20s, you know, I think like being on the road inspired me, and those relationships with my bandmates and people I met in different cities, and you know, more girlfriends and things like that. But I think now, like I'm 30 years old now, it just changes. Different people, you know, my grandfather inspires me, not only to write songs but just in life. I'm kind of surprised at who all inspires me these days. You know, that's the fun part. You know, it's the great thing about being a writer is all the people that you're surround you, good and bad, inspire you in different ways. The profession I would choose if I wasn't a musician, if I didn't have to go to school for it, I would like to probably either be a vet or, because I love animals, mostly just dogs. If I could just be a veterinarian for dogs, big dogs, no small dogs. Even though I have a small dog. Well, I have a small dog like this. I don't have like a small dog. So I would eliminate that. I would just have dogs over 20 pounds. And I'd probably want to do something with psychology, just because I feel like doing this for as long as I have, I've learned so much about the world and people and the quirks of different artistic type people, and I'm fascinated by it. I'm fascinated by myself. I'm fascinated by the way I can't ever turn my brain off, and I would like to learn more about that, especially with creative people. I'm fascinated by it. So some kind of psychology type profession would be great. Well, I can tell you one thing that I do always ask for at my shows. So it's kind of like they're broad, is black socks. I always ask the venue to provide a pair of black socks, just because I feel like there's nothing better and maybe nothing more gross than walking off stage and being able to put on a clean pair of black socks. I mean, they could be any color, but I just prefer black. So that's what I have at every show. Oh, I'll say one. I have this friend who plays in my band from time to time when he's not doing his thing. His name is Brian Webb. It's B-R-I-N-E, so it's spelled like Brian. And he has an album that he made. It's one of my favorite albums. He made it in Oklahoma with my other bandmates, Chad and Jared at Blackwatch Studios. And this record that he made, he just completely underestimates how great it is. So everyone needs to know about Brian Webb, W-E-B-B. It's a great, great album. Well, my first concert experience was Paul McCartney in Kansas City in a stadium. And I was really, really spoiled because that was one of the most magical experiences that I've ever had in music. But then my second concert was Paula Abdul and Color Me Bad. So I feel like I went from like the greatest concert ever to being severely let down on the second one. Pre-show rituals, I always have whiskey before I play, and I kind of have to hit the balance of not too much whiskey, but also not go on stage completely without alcohol in my system. And I always untie and tie my shoes, and I actually had just thought of that. And it's not like a nervous thing, it's more just that, I don't know, I guess it just, man, I guess it is a nervous thing. I'm pretty weird with stuff like that. Man, people are gonna think that I'm completely strange. I hate my voice, I want to be a dog psychological veterinarian. I untie and tie my shoes. Apparently I'm a drunk. And what else have we learned about me through this interview? Some other, and I have to put on clean pairs of black socks. This is going downhill really fast. Okay, hey, this is Graham Colton. Go to grahamcolton.com for all the latest news, updates, and headlines about all things that are involving me. Thanks a lot.